Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Wherever you are in the world today, you're in Wonderland right now. And we've got some really neat stuff to talk about in Wonderland. We've got a cast of characters that some of you haven't met before, and we've got our coordinating producer, Mad Max. So, Max, why don't you tell the folks what we're up to and what a strong means?
Yeah, I can start there. I have limited powers compared to normal, but I can definitely start with the introduction. So a week has 7 days. A strong has 8 days. The 8 days of a strong are run out in a grid of 8 groups of 8, totaling 64. This is what's considered the strong counting, which, at least numerically, is superior to the weak counting of time. And so we happen to be stronging on this 8th episode of Wonderland.
This is the eighth episode. And so eight makes a strong greater than seven. That's a week. So it's a pun on the calendar as we get to change the calendar. Next, let's introduce. Oh, what character are you up to today, Max?
Um, Probably mostly Cheshire, but a little bit of Grand Poobah Shadowwalkie.
Okay. Sounds good. Next, let me introduce our pirate, Timeless. And I will let him give a quick download on who his character is in Wonderland as a pirate and what he's up to.
Armady.
Well, thank you for that, Max. As you're aware, the residents of the pirate time is in the northern regions, which limits me technologically at some times. In this case, it is interesting that you are coming in clear and I can hear your transmissions, and yet others are not. So for the time being, I will use you as the translator of sorts. It's wonderful to be here sharing this with all of you, and I do look forward to today's discussion.
Well, if the Cheshire Cat has to translate, the Cheshire Cat's pretty familiar with that. The epicness of your beard and hat far surpass any technological limitations you might have just because you're north of the border. We're okay with that here in Wonderland.
We have a north border of Wonderland?
That's what I mean. There's no borders here. It works. Works as well as time as his beard. It's fantastic. That must have taken much effort. I'm quite impressed.
It seems to me in my Obi-Wan role today, I should point out that the calendar that we've been given is one that keeps us off balance completely. When you have 30 days in some months and 31 days in others, and then a castrated February, what we end up with is a time sequence that's never in a pattern. And then we have our work weeks, which in America you're on Monday through Friday, and then you turn off for Saturday and Sunday, and the pattern goes 5-2-5-2-5-2-4-3, where they give you a bonus day on the weekend, just in time to throw your rhythmics off. So part of a strong on a grid is that with 8 strongs and 8 days to a strong, a grid of 64 is a rhythmic pattern to allow yourself to get into the vibration of human scale. And it's sort of one of those things where humans need to work on human scale and corporations need to work on invisible, not existing scale, so that we are no longer humanly ruled by our corporations. And with that,
As Graham Poobah with a complete lack of authority, I can incorporate the absolute flexibility of the calendar of Wonderland. A strong is stronger than a weak by definition. We're not weak here. 2 weeks is a fortnight, and we're here right now. So we're going to work on being strong together.
my day today
Canadian
is
flexing in a power.
growing.
Oh man.
Oh, Canadians got a okay.
No,
let's-
a Canadian flexing in a pirate hat is just. I'm doing my very best here. This is pressing my boundaries of Wonderland here. I can hardly imagine what's going on. It's very enjoyable though.
All right. Let me quickly step in because I do feel not, and I'm going to assume that you as the viewer can completely hear doc time. Fine. The fact is over here, and I know I'm breaking the fourth wall a bit, but I cannot. It's a bit choppy, so I'm using our dear friend Max here to translate for me if anyone else has any messages. But I do have a feeling that connections won't last for the entire session. And if that's the case, I'd rather get this out of the way now while I have an opportunity to. It was interesting to me that before I entered this session, I had a feeling to bring with me a prop, as it was. And before I disclose this prop, I will break another fourth wall rule and let you know that the device that's recording me right now is being stabilized by another device with a screen. And on that screen is a picture of this very prop. Now, the reason why I feel so strongly in bringing this prop into this session is because the 8-day strong has already been disclosed. And that symbol of 8, when we turn it sideways, it can it can be similar to the infinite symbol. And so this prop that I have in front of me here, I'm hoping you can see it.
Oh yes, I call those Canadian handcuffs.
Yes, it's made up of a couple horseshoes for luck, of course, welded to some chains, and there's a circle here that could represent time if we let it, and time seems to be stuck between these two circles. And you know, when one studies this and starts fooling around with it and playing with it, they might come to a conclusion that time is forever stuck and cannot be freed. And yet, what I've found in my own journeys and my own experiences is that when I take a time out, as it were, and just sort of get back to that natural rhythm within, some things can happen inside, some quick twists and little flips of wrists, and before I know it, time is free. And you know, lucky horseshoes are able to be used for anything else. And thank you for taking this opportunity to be with me here and to share in the friendship of all these other incredible beings. That is all for now.
Well, I must say, even though you cannot hear the Jedi that is Obi-Wan Kenobi, your shall we call it proposition was expertly received and came across extremely clear. The visual representation was second to none.
I am lost in the clouds. I
Oh
am
yeah,
not.
so is Slevin and so is Amateur. It's
Yeah.
very
What about
complicated.
us? Am I
Let's
heard?
hear from let's hear from Slevin because we can hear from Slevin.
Okay, yeah, I was testing out. I needed to get to the other account, and I was having a hard time on X on the iPhone app of being able to copy the link. So I went to the laptop and was able to copy the message and send it to. I sent it to my Slevin account, and I got on with that phone, and that phone's an iPhone 6, and it wouldn't work right. So then I went to the iPhone 10 with the AI art account and came into the room. Didn't work. I was online on Discord and X with 11, so I couldn't get on the mic on three things. So I had to, 11 was the Discord, and or the laptop was Discord, and the phone was X. So I had to get on with one of my other two devices. But now that I did it, it seems to work with the iPhone 10. I'm here. Welcome. Hello, everybody.
I find it so hilarious that this band of misfit toys is battling so hard against that which we consider technology just to talk to each other. But we're doing great in such an unexpected fashion.
Just a way to get people to talk with old devices like this is amazing. That's what I've been working on. We've never been had a way to share. I found a way now I can share any of my files, anything, all my 9/11 files, any way I want on X or Discord, or now on this thing too. Is this a paid app?
This is a paid app.
They certainly want me to pay for it, but we'll get into that later.
All the other stuff that I'm doing is all
Canadian
free.
Pirate, can you hear Slevin?
I can, yes.
Broadcast
Yeah.
on
Okay,
Discord
just
app
double
X
checking.
right now.
We have Amateur on also. She's turned off her camera, but she is here available. And
Hi.
hi, good to meet you.
Amateur's
Oh,
actually more professional than her name would imply.
Oh yeah, I'm still kind of half asleep pre-coffee, so I don't know how professional I can be.
You're in
That's
Max
the most
World.
wonderful form of Wonderland.
Yeah, I'm just one of those creatures that comes out of the bushes sometimes. A humanoid creature for sure.
Human-ish, I'll give you that much. Humanoid seems a little far-fetched, but I guess it is Wonderland, so you can be whoever you pretend to be.
Wonderland works on human scale, but what human scale is actually is sort of indeterminate. And so I prefer human scale in groups of 5 or less. But some people believe human scale to be 8 billion. And I want to question that sort of knowledge because in my travels of the globe through the United States last year by car, train, plane, and private ride, I got to go through enough towns that I could count the population I could see, compare it to the population of the town, and say, these two numbers don't make sense.
By nearly a factor of 10.
Yeah. Yeah, I really wonder, maybe it is a factor of 10.
I don't trust the census as far as I can count it. Or I don't feel like I can count on the census.
I believe those what were they, the Great Guidestones over in Georgia? They put the world's and I spell that a little differently, but they put the world's population at around 500 million, I believe. And
Yeah, if we can have enough kids, we can get up to there. But
The Georgia Guidestones are gone now.
well, how are we supposed to find our way?
I don't know.
I mean, if the Guidestones can tumble in such a unceremonious fashion,
Was it though? What about the blood spots on top?
I'll give you that. It was a bit of a ceremony in and of itself. I'll agree with that. I personally don't need to go to Georgia to guide myself. I've only been to Georgia once. I can tell you that the airport is too big. Other than that, I'm not there.
you know, I was taking down guide rails today on a deck of my neighbors, and last week I was drilling holes in new guide rails, and all this guide rail and guardrail removal, it really got me thinking about those guide or guardrails out there that can keep one mentally and spiritually, definitely physically, moving and going in certain directions. And isn't it interesting when these guide rails get removed, how much more is open to provide us with new perceptions, new points of view, that for me, in certain cases, forced me to change my mind and my heart on specific topics. And because of that, I've gotten into a place where I need to remain more flexible and less rigid, because what might seem to be an actuality out there simply is not. And it isn't until I'm really able to experience something for myself that I'm able to come up with my own guide rails, if you will. This isn't to say that, you know, guide rails aren't good. They do serve great purpose.
Yes, I believe I understand you. Canadians use bumpers when bowling because they can't keep it in their lane.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that's coming across loud and clear.
It helps me score.
And it does seem like your ability to hear Obi-Wan Kenobi is improved, although now Slevin is a little bit in and out from my perspective, which is interesting. Obi-Wan, by the way, excellence. The simpleness of the brown hood with the epicness of the white beard is normally I feel pretty beard strong, but I'm feeling almost beard intimidated on this day, which is interesting for me.
Quite the Gandalf going there, I gotta say.
I am just loving Slevin probably talking somewhere on X to nobody. I actually find this very enjoyable.
I wish he could shave his beard and make a freaking wig out of the damn thing. I'm telling you, I would die for a head hair. I can't even grow a beard like that too. I can let mine grow and it grows out like this ratty, squirrely, gnarly nest. Like, I don't know.
Next time,
a nice beard, like I've always wanted.
Next time Delilah chooses to cut my hair, I'll see if I can get you some extensions.
I need something. I need a full rug, dude, not an extension.
Oh, I think I got enough rug for you.
All right.
Let's see how it goes.
You can be my donator.
The Nazarene vow doesn't allow me to shave my head, but when I break it, as I inevitably do, you're first on the list. It's quite a
I'm gonna hold you today.
Crown to carry, but doable.
I tend to go to the beard school of the ZZ Top, and I think that That's the goal of my day.
Oh my goodness, the topographicness. All right, Canadians leaving their golden canisters on center stage is interesting, but even from my perspective, dear host, our platform has decided that Obi-Wan is not the Jedis that I can see or hear.
Well, no, that's
I've got a highly dysfunctional Obi-Wan Kenobi in terms of connection orientation. I have a silent Canadian as represented by what appears to be a gold water bottle. And I have a Slevin, which seems to be hearable even when he's having other conversations. So even as the translator,
she lit one up.
ooh, oh, this might die, folks. If we lost stock like that, Obi-Wan Kenobi may have left the building. In which case, I don't even know why this is still alive at the moment. So maybe he'll come back.
Uh-oh.
Was that indeed a golden cylinder, crevasse, a water carrier? Maybe it's of a bronze fashion. It kind of appears golden.
This is copper.
Oh, it's copper. Okay, I see now.
It carries my supply of water. Sometimes the wetware, as it is, doesn't have enough, and so
Wetware doesn't have enough wetness. Has some reserve wetness for the wetware. I find that reasonable. Me and Mr. Copper have a long standing conversation, or maybe it's in very short standing. Maybe there's no standing at all. But I definitely think that copper is a great way to recuperate, be it water for the wetware or just energy for the masses. I'm a large fan of copper. Cooper
I agree.
is tough, but it sounds like copper.
Yeah. I laughed and chuckled when I got it. There's too many family members of mine that serve on various police forces, and so the copper jokes are quite abundant.
I thought they counted. I thought they counted the Mounties up there. I thought the coppers was a south of the border thing.
No. The Mounties are simply the federal versions. All of the local ones, they are part of the constabulary, as it was.
I would not be against putting all the feds on horses. Where the horses are going, I choose not to share. But I am okay with all the feds being mounted.
I'm with you. Yeah,
Did you pick a character, by the way, or are you just like generic Canadian pirate?
No, pirate time. That's
what pirate time. Oh, okay, I see. You got the name there. That helps.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah. I was being, or the session was